This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politics.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey.
And get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke.
He is like a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey's a wrecking ball for Indiana. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's the 714th episode of the Political Spotlight. I just scared the dog to death. She was just sitting here next to me, and I just scared her. You guys haven't seen her in a minute. Want to see her? Hey, come here, baby. Come here, Spotty. Come here, baby. Oh, yeah. You want to let them see you, baby. Oh, you hiding from them? Oh, look at her there. Oh, she's such a good girl. Talk. You don't have anything to say. You normally have a lot of stuff to say. You want to say something to them? Say something. Say something to them. Don't we look just alike? Don't we both just look like potatoes? Oh, who's my little potato girl? Who's my little Miss Pig Nasty? I love you. Say hi. I think I'm going to make her a social media account here soon. My little Miss Pig Nasty. Her name is Spot, like spotlight. Isn't that amazing? And it's because she has this spot on the back of her. She's a little cutie. We just went and had a checkup, and she's perfectly fine. Oh, there she's talking to you. Talk. You can talk into the mic. They want to hear you. All right, you can sit there, maybe. She sits there, and well, so here's the deal. The Political Spotlight Team Nobody things in the background, the white things that you can see, you can see it really lit up down here. Team Nobody, the Political Spotlight. I actually have some of that left, and my mother, who is an amazing seamstress, is in the process of making her a bandana out of that. So it's gonna be amazing. Oh yeah, what are you doing there, buddy? What are you doing? I wish they could see you doing that, because that's cute. So she's only got 3 legs. And I found out something. I found out who her original vet was, and I called there to get some information from them. And they said that when she was in the accident, it not only broke her leg, but it also crushed her pelvis. And because it crushed the pelvis, the leg was not able to attach the way that it needed to. So in order to not have to put her down, they needed to take the leg. And that's why she has 3 legs. But I'll tell you, she's not special needs or disabled in any way. She does more damage on 3 legs than any 2 dogs with 8 that I could even begin to know. So she is pretty special. And while she spends as much time with me as possible, she normally doesn't sit down here with me during the show. She's jealous, and she likes to have more human contact than what I can provide when I do the show. And so she normally likes to run away from me because she is upset. I will let everybody know that Kate is not with us tonight. She was feeling under the weather last night and had a rough day today. So she's not with us tonight. So it's just me. It's just me. So bear with me with the comments. Don't stop them coming. Let them pour in. We want them coming. Drop those comments in. Drop them in. Get those little points or those little XP things, whatever. Sometimes you'll see people commenting like comment now and then comment 3 more times in the next. I don't know what that stuff means. That's all YouTube. I don't do anything with that. But please, please, please comment. We will get them up. I will do my very level best to put them up on screen like this one. Good evening, everyone. Hope your day went well. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for being here and connecting the dots. I get it, Alva. That's a Joe Tompkins type of a deal there. I thought, did you and Joe switch places or what's going on? Thank you for the good comments about the dog. I appreciate that. The Ice and Ina says, hello, Spot Baby. And yeah, she's a good little girl. I love her. I used to have a disabled dog too, and she did the same. It didn't stop her. Yeah. And as Alva said, Alva has actually watched Spot go up and down the stairs. And I tell you what, it's something to behold. She approaches the stairs quite similar to a crab, what I think a crab would do walking up and down the stairs. So, hey, besides the comments, ladies and gentlemen, don't just let the comments pour in. If you would be so kind to please smash that like button, we would be so grateful for that. We appreciate all that you guys do, all the watches, all the thumbs, all the shares, and all the content. We appreciate that. If you want to get in touch with us, you know how to do it. You can email the show, which that's down there. We've got 2 emails, an email directly for the show, an email for me specifically. My studio phone number down there, 765-546-9796. And then, of course, you can remind people that they can watch us live on YouTube, on Rumble, on Facebook, on 2 different Facebook accounts, on X, and then we don't have it up here, but you can find us literally on all major podcast hosting sites: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Amazon. Anything where you can get podcasts, you can listen to us. And if you have a favorite podcast platform and we are not on it, let me know. We will get there. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Lava Lamp is back, and because I was messing with the dog, I didn't get it started right on time. So it is doing its thing right now. It kind of looks like a slow motion atom bomb, like it looks like a nuclear explosion. You guys can see it in studio. It's really cool. It really looks like the dropping the bomb, and it's really really cool. So we want to thank Lenny for doing whatever it is that he has done here. This is something that Kate would know and be able to say it better than I do. I don't know these things. She keeps track of all of that. Thank you, member, for 31 months. Holy crap. You've been here longer than I have, I think. Some of you truly have. You always do such a great job, Denise. Thank you. Thank you. You always do the great job. All of you. It's all of you. And getting me the information. And I appreciate that. Hey, we have some important political commentary that we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to shy away from Muncie a little bit. We've been doing some really Muncie heavy stuff here lately. We're gonna pull back from Muncie a little bit. We're going to cover mainly some state of Indiana topics. But before we do, I feel like it is important to highlight that, man, I tell you, it doesn't matter what's going on. We are always just a couple ticks ahead of the star press, and it's truly amazing how that happens, because they have, well, they're the long-standing newspaper. They've been around for a long time, and it's funny, but the Star Press had an article coming out this past weekend. As I said, the same time, they must have been getting information the same time I was getting it, and it was just like a race to who could get there. So their newspaper article says flock cameras cut down on Ball State campus as Muncie officials discuss a system. And I want to make sure that you're understanding what I'm saying here. I'm telling you guys that someone out doing God's work took it upon themselves and removed one flock camera from the equation. Now, I'm going to be very clear. I do not encourage criminal behavior. I would never encourage criminal behavior, and shame on whatever patriot did that out there. I will say, whoever they're accusing of doing this, I have no clue how they're accusing this person of doing this, because whenever they're accusing this person of doing this, that person was with me in Kentucky at that time, and I have no clue how they could even begin to accuse whoever it was of doing this crime, because we were in Kentucky whenever they're accusing this person of doing this. Now, obviously, I'm joking. That was a joke that I stole from Mr. Brandon Rudd, and I appreciate his jokes. And I tell you, hey, if you like Brandon Rudd jokes, you will want to tune in this Thursday night, episode 717, because Mr. Brandon Rudd will appear on this program as we take a look at the J.D. Prescott bill that is an absolute disaster as it relates to property taxes and replacing the property taxes with something else that's just absolutely crazy. So we're going to have to take... Oh, my God, look at this. Look, somebody here really liked that joke. I didn't even see this person was in the... That's hilarious. I didn't even see that person was in the comments. Was it Kate? Kate's our hero. That's the reason Kate's not here tonight. She... I don't know if it was Kate or not. I would never say if it was Kate or not. But if it was, I would say it wasn't her. And so, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, no, not, it won't be 8/17. It will be 8/13, episode 8, or it'll be date August 13th, but it will be 7/18. So that's where we'll be. So yeah, me and the person cutting that down was visiting Alva in Louisiana. So we'll gladly provide an alibi for whoever needs it. The flock camera was lost in a boating accident. It wasn't Brandon. He was too busy trying to figure out how to string his weed eater. I tell you, Brandon and my grandpa are the only two people in the world that are obsessed with these damn weed eaters. Brandon's trying to string them. My grandpa's trying to get batteries for them. And between the two of them, they're going to kill me with the thing. That's a little bit of an inside joke here. So it is... It is what it is. But no. So getting back to the article here, I think this is very important. Muncie, Indiana, and this was not just the Star Press. They also needed the help of the Ball State Daily News. So they needed the college kids to help them with this. A flock safety automated license plate reader on Ball State's campus was cut down during the early hours of August 4th at the intersection of Riverside Avenue and Dix Street. Of course, they would put a camera at Riverside and Dix. That's interesting. Ball State University Content and Media Strategies Manager Andrew Walker confirmed the incident. UPD, not like the Upland Police Department, but university. To me, it's never been UPD. That's so weird. It's BSUPD, but whatever. UPD is aware of the incident and is investigating at this time. We have no additional information to share while the matter is under investigation, he said via an email. DFlock, an open source website designed to map ALPRs, show 12 cameras on Ball State campus. 12 cameras alone on Ball State campus. That is insane. That alone we should have a problem with. DFlock, an open source website designed to map these cameras, show 12 cameras on Ball State's campus, along with one on the corner of University Avenue and Dix, one by Christie Woods near the intersection of Riverside Avenue and Tilton, and one on University Avenue towards the intersection with Tilton Avenue. I don't know why they specifically named those. DFlock notes that of these 15, only 6 are Flock branded cameras designed to read license plates, and the other 9 are Access Communications Security Network cameras. Privacy concerns surrounding Flock cameras have become a national debate in recent months, from which Indiana counties are not exempt. The Washington Post reported on August 2nd that at least 50 law enforcement officials across the country have been accused of misusing the system for personal surveillance reasons. Listen to me. 50. Brandon. 50 of them. Hey, look at this. Look. Sir Ballman says... Oh, I see what's going on. I can't click it from YouTube, you idiot. I can't believe that. Sir Ballman says, your grandpa is the best. Where's Brandon when you need a hero? Brandon for the joke. Lenny with the serious twist here. And then here we go. Within a block of each other. It's really crazy. And Jack has the absolute most important message of all. Hit the like, folks. But no, going back to the article, privacy. Listen, this is hilarious. Privacy concerns surround Flock cameras have become a national debate in recent months. Do you think if maybe this would have been an issue in the months before the cameras were put up, maybe we would have less issue? This is a perfect example of why you don't let the government do something and then try to stop them. Because once they've done it, it's done. This is very similar to this situation that we're going to be talking about on Thursday with J.D. Prescott. We don't want them to start that thing, because once they start it, even if they end up never taking away property taxes, we will still have his other stupid ass tax. You don't want the government to start things, because once they start, they very rarely, if ever, stop. And I think that's the situation that people are hopefully learning here. Maybe more people should have been pushing back on this back when, instead of trying to do it now. Late last month, Monroe County commissioners, as we talked last night, voted to cancel their contract with Flock, calling the technology mass surveillance, according to Fox 59. The Muncie Police Department originally installed 22 Flock cameras in August of 2022 out of a cost of about $2,500 each. So I want you to listen to that. That's very interesting to me. We installed 22 cameras at $2,500 a pop. That's $55,000 for these cameras. Muncie Police Chief obviously says, we're very excited about this. I bet you are. We think it's going to be a serious tool, not only in the reduction of crime, but in solving of criminal activity. Okay. Meanwhile, Sloan and other officers met on Tuesday, July 28th, as I told you last night, with Muncie City Council members William McIntosh, Jerry Dishman, and Dale Basham to discuss flock cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, listen to me. Something is coming. This is going to be on the agenda during this upcoming council meeting, and we need to be prepared. The council members said that they had not been contacted by citizens. The council members said they had not been contacted by citizens with concerns about the cameras. I'm interested in who's telling the paper that, because of the counselors that I asked, 2 of them stated that they had been contacted by citizens. So I'm very interested. But Sloan said another council member, Nora Powell, said she had heard concerns, but she was unable to attend the meeting on July 28th. Well, that's fine. However, we know that they have since made a meeting with her, and I haven't heard back from any other counselors other than what you guys heard last night, okay? We know there's a lot of misconceptions about flocks, Sloan said. People think the system is capable of doing all kinds of crazy things, including looking into cars, facial recognition, and all of these things. How about I clear this up for Chief Sloan? I don't believe it can do anything crazy. I just don't want it doing what it can do. Can we make it clear? I don't think it's going to drop bombs on us. I don't think that it can fly drones at us. I don't think that it's got lasers pointed on them. I don't think that it's going to be able to, look inside my soul and tell what I'm thinking. I just don't want it to be able to make a mass data point package on where Kristopher Bilbrey goes, who he sees, what he does when he does it. If I break the law, arrest me. But until then, I don't answer questions and stay the hell away from me. Pretty simple, okay? Okay, I, unlike a lot of other citizens out there, do fully know what I can do as a citizen and what you, Mr. Police Officer, can do. And I am not here to help you, help you, put me in jail, regardless of what you think I may or may not be doing. So I will just simply say, if I'm doing something wrong, arrest me, and let's get the show on the road. I'm happy to get to court. I'm happy to start depositions, and I'm happy to get your discovery and see what you think that you have against me, because you don't. Okay, that's just going to say it there. Officers at the meeting included Lieutenant Joe Duckham. I think that's very interesting that he was there. Of the Detectives Division, I'll leave that there. I unfortunately can't say anything more about that. Mike Nickens of the Muncie, Delaware County Drug Task Force. Dude, isn't Mike Nickens like 500 years old? Why, you've not retired by yet? Nah, that's very strange. Crime scene technician, Sergeant Brandon Qualls. I mean, man, he's getting up there too. Sergeant Mariah Copeland and Captain Steve Cox. And dude, Steve Cox, he has to be literally 900 years old. I don't understand. I'm shocked. I have never received one phone call about flock, Sloan said. Some time ago, MPD offered a presentation about the system that drew about a dozen people. And I, my friends, were one of those people there. I didn't like it then. I expressed those concerns. I talked to Ridenhour about it. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. Copeland said that to use the system, officers have to specify what kind of case they're investigating, a vehicle description, a plate number or partial plate number, It doesn't tell us who's driving the car. It doesn't tell us what they did or anything like that. It just gives us an idea of what cars matching the description were in the area at the time of the alleged crime. We use Flock in almost every one of our investigations, Duckham said. It's such a valuable resource for us. It's not only solved cases, it's almost part of our investigation. We frequently use it for putting in vehicle in a plate at a certain time. Okay, those are things I don't like. The system was used in a 2024 robbery case at a check cashing business. Great. Our guys are good. Without Flock, we probably wouldn't be making that arrest, at least not as quickly. The cameras were also helpful in a 2023 homicide case at Elgin Manor. The system showed him and his home state of Michigan 2 days before the fatal shooting, in Muncie the day of the killing, and then back to Michigan. He had the motive, he had the means, and now we know that he's in the area, Duckham said. Flock was massively helpful in that investigation. Copeland said the police have used the system in searches for missing persons and suspects. A victim can be alerted if a missing person is in domestic violence investigation has returned to the area. Sloan said Flock is used by police departments in every major city in Indiana except for Hammond, Bloomington, Richmond. About 5,000 agencies nationwide use it. There is no personal use for this for any reason, he said. All information collected except for information downloaded for criminal investigations is all deleted on a rolling basis every 30 days. Tell that to the 50-some law enforcement officers this year that have been fired for using it for personal reasons. Don't tell me that there's no reason that they can use this to do personal crap, because I can't hear. I will not listen to that, because there are a lot of tools that the police have that they're supposed to be using it for strictly, business, criminal business, that have been used to violate people's rights for as long as policing has been a thing. Okay. I'm very pro-police. I'm very anti-Flock. It is what it is. This is not what I would consider intrusive, Sloan said. Well, I bet he doesn't. It's not what the courts consider is intrusive. I don't care what the courts consider it. Other officers named hit-and-run crashes, drug investigation cases that benefit the program. For example, the travels of drug-dealing suspects to and from a source city. Recently, an elderly woman's family and members in West Virginia couldn't reach her. Cox said that Flock helped them find her in a disabled vehicle with her phone also dead. So, isn't that sound wonderful? I'm telling you, folks, something's coming. Something like they've already got 22 of these things around the city of Muncie. What more are they wanting? What are we going to be doing? I'm blown away by this. Honestly, I just honestly can't believe that there's anything else that they want to be doing with this. I don't know what it is what are they not getting now that they need more of? What do we need to be doing? I'm not in favor of this. You should not be in favor of this. And we should have a lot of questions about this. I really liked what the mayor of Knoxville or wherever last night in Tennessee said. If you did not watch last night's episode, you need to go back and watch it. It's a very good look at what's being said with the Flock cameras. So, that's that. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. We're going to be talking more about Flock as the days and weeks progress. Now, however, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to the state of Indiana politics. We've got some pretty big things going on, and I feel like we, as a show, we need to talk about this. This is really big for Indiana and beyond. Now, I am going to go up here and hit some of these comments here really quickly. And just see these cops are using them to watch people day and night. They just sit and read tags, etc. Cameras are even pointing into kids' play areas. Alva said, bullshit. Let me set the record straight. The city hung its first Flock camera 2 years ago. on Hoyt Street when Hoyt was torn out. Yes. Cloud service and AI charges are way more on the money. Bash them lie. Absolutely. They want to raise the lit tax to pay for their security. That's coming too. We've not even talked about that, but we will be talking about that coming up. It can map your Bluetooth MAC address on your car, phone, then follow you by your internet connecting devices along with facial recognition. Listen, I don't know if that's, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't know if that's specifically true or not. If it is true, I don't like it. I need to look more into it, but I'm fine at saying, even if it doesn't do that, I don't like what it currently does. So I don't need to make it say more crazy crap. I just can say, I don't like what they're saying it currently does. And I'm with the mayor last night. We need to put a pause on this, stop all use of this, and have a very serious national discussion before we dig into this and really get more crazy into it. That's where I am. Randall McAllister says the technology will only advance more and more, and that will have facial recognition and so much more. If we do not restrict it now, it will expand. And that's the message. Maybe it doesn't do that now. You want to bet it won't be doing that in 2 years and 6 months and in 5 years and whatever next month? That's the issue. That is the issue. Okay? Absolutely. It can be used to extort political servants. I'm sure there's a little Jewish guy wanting to know which prostitute they picked up. It's a very good possibility. Flock is worse than Britain's Stammer's digital ID. I absolutely agree with that. Let's see here. I'm going to watch this tomorrow. Good night, everyone. See, hey, Alva, take care, brother. Have a good evening. And I hope I didn't miss you. I can do that, Bilbrey. Okay, you're saying they can. That's fine. I mean, I'm just saying either way, it's a problem either way. I don't like it either way. So that's definitely an issue that I don't like the drones. I don't like the drones. That's where we are specifically stating. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving into the national politics, or not national, sorry. I was looking at national right before we came on. Moving into the state politics, there are a couple of big stories currently happening in the state of Indiana that we need to talk about. Conversations that have been going on for a minute that we've not spoke about, things that we need to, some things I've been interested in, some things that are just now occurring today. So we have three major topics that are currently going on in Indiana state politics, and all three of them raise the same one fundamental question, and that is the question that we always ask here. Who holds the power in the state of Indiana? And how far can that power be used? So topic number one is Braun, Governor Braun versus Andy Zay, the IURC lawsuit. We're going to be talking about that. Former Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission member Andy Zay, which is a former state representative, or was he former senator? It's been a minute. Andy Zay was appointed here just recently to the Regulatory Commission. And then just like that, he was removed on Monday, August 3rd by Braun. It was shocking. It was a big deal. I couldn't believe it that happened. Well, interesting. Today, a lawsuit was filed. Zay has alleged that Braun's administration improperly pressured him over the pending AES Indiana rate case and retaliated after the commission reached an outcome that the Braun administration opposed. Doesn't that sound like what goes on in Muncie? I think the people from Anderson would say, Doesn't that sound like what goes on in Anderson? And the people in Winchester would say, doesn't that sound like what goes on in Muncie? If you do, or in Winchester, if you do something that the executive doesn't like, then you're punished, and what the executive wanted goes through anyways. It's crazy. So this is very interesting. Was Zay legitimately fired for cause, or was an independent regulator removed because he wouldn't deliver the results that the governor wanted? What does this mean for the regulatory committee's independence, the utility rates, executive authority, and the future of the AES case? This is really interesting because we're seeing this happening more and more and more with different bodies that are quasi-governmental, and how they're being handled, very much like the public access counselor. Okay. Very, very interesting. So that's topic number one. Topic number two, the Indiana State Senate District 23 recount flips the win. Wow. The razor-thin Republican primary between State Senate Spencer Deary and Trump-backed challenger Paula Copenhaver has now flipped after a recount. Totally crazy. Totally crazy. Copenhaver comes out on top after Deary, one of the Republican senators who opposed the push for mid-cycle congressional redistricting last year, had appeared to survive by only a handful of votes. I think like he had like 7, 8, 9 votes that he had won by. And then they did this recount, and they threw out a couple of votes for Copenhaver, and they threw out a couple of votes from him, and she ended up winning by 3 votes. Look, I get it when you win a city council race by 3 votes, but winning a state Senate district seat by 3 votes, man, that's really crazy. Was this simply an extraordinary close election? Or is it another warning to Indiana Republicans about the political consequences of crossing Donald Trump? Okay. I've got a couple of different thoughts about all of that. And of course, we will be talking about that here in just a second. And then lastly, the third and final topic of the night is who takes control of the Indiana Senate. Indiana Senate Pro Tem Roderick Bray is stepping down. Of course, this was an announcement that was made a couple weeks ago from the chairman's top leadership role, and I'm happy about that. I think that's wonderful. I think that no, it's primary, so it's a Republican versus a Republican, but in this situation, it's a Republican who is fighting against a mid-decade redistricting, and a Trump plug that he wanted to get in to beat her. So no, it's 2 Republicans battling it out. We won't have the Republican versus the Democrat race until November. So this was concerning the primary election that ended back in May. It just now is coming to the end where they're making the decision. Okay, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. And then lastly, like I said, Roderick Bray is stepping down from the pro tem spot, and I'm happy about that. I'm very happy. However, the fight to succeed him is underway. Senator Chris Garden is seeking the leadership post as Republicans continue to grapple with the fallout from a redistricting battle and a fractured caucus. The question now is the Indiana Senate Republican caucus about to move in a fundamentally different direction, or what's going to be happening? Tonight, we will be connecting all 3 stories and examining the broader battle over power. Isn't it interesting? It all comes down to power, loyalty, executive authority, control of the Republican Party, and the future of Indiana politics. It's always the same thing. It's just it's interesting to me that's what it always is about. It's not about who can help the citizens of Indiana, who is here to do better, to do good work, to do God's work, and to do right by the people and to make things better. It's all about who's got the power, who controls the power, who can tell who what to do, and who don't even care anymore. That's the thing. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Let me see a couple more comments here. Hello, Brenda. Braun acts like Trump. When shit hits the fan, he thinks he can just replace people if they don't do what Braun wants done. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, we have got to beat Braun in the next election. He cannot win another re-election. Braun is an absolute disaster. I hope we have a candidate worth a damn. That's half the battle. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. And when we get back, we're going to get into these Indiana stories. I'm going to cover these. They're not major stories, like big topics. So I'm just going to cover these because I've wanted to talk about each of these for a while now. And each of these have had like something that it happened a couple of days or weeks ago, within the last couple of days or weeks. However, something in each of these stories have basically ticked off today where there's a new bit, and this is the perfect time to talk about it in between major local stuff going on. So you guys sit tight. We will be right back. And when we come back, we'll get into these three stories. You're listening to this 714th episode of the Political Spotlight. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. First and foremost, Braun versus Andy Zay. This is so interesting. This is Braun versus Zay. Zay now versus Braun with this lawsuit. The utility regulation, executive power, and the AES rate case is what's at stake here. Very, very interesting. The former IURC commissioner Andy Zay is suing Governor Braun after Braun removed him from the commission. Zay alleges improper pressure from the Braun administration tied to the AES Indiana rate case. The court dispute was Zay lawfully removed for cause or pushed out for not delivering on the results that Braun wanted. This is a fight over the independence of the utility regulators. That's the most important thing. There has to be a level of separation between things like this. Like, for example, the public access counselor could not be hired or fired, mostly fired, because of a decision they made. Now, that person can piss off the governor or piss off the state legislators, and the legislators can put pressure on the governor, and this public access counselor can then be removed because of what's happening there. And so it's really sad. And we're going to take a look at this. Give me a second here. I got this picture from somebody. Someone said there are 3 cameras in Lowe's parking lots. I did not know that. I mean, that's crazy if we're wasting money doing stupid shit like that. That's really crazy. Okay, back to the state story. So I want to put this up here and let you see this breaking news piece. Of course, this came out. It's not breaking news at this moment, but I'll let you see what we've got going on here, and then we will talk about this a little bit more in depth.
Breaking news tonight at 5, the former chair of Indiana's utility regulator is suing the governor for trying to fire him.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun appointed Andy Zay to the post earlier this year, but then he demoted Zay after the agency voted to approve a $71 million rate hike for AES Indiana. In a lawsuit filed today, Zay says that is why Braun fired him.
He also says it is illegal to fire him for a rate increase. So you can read the details of the complaint right now on WTHR.com/scene-on-13.
Okay. And so that's what we're going to do here in just 1 second. Let me pull this up here and tell you what we've got. I tell you, we do pretty good. We do okay when Kate's not here, but it's always a little bit out of whack, and we always do a little bit better when Kate is in fact here. So we always know when Kate isn't here, and we are very appreciative of everything that she does here. The Zay left the state. Okay, so it was the state Senate. So Braun appointed Zay as the chair of the Indiana. For those that don't know, Braun appointed Zay the chair of the Indiana. Braun appointed Zay to the chair of the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission back in December, which I was actually shocked, quite honestly shocked, that happened. But and others were like, oh no, this makes perfect sense. But honestly, I was worried that this is what would happen, because I thought that these two butted heads. People always act like they were friendly, but I was worried about something like this happening, because Braun is not someone who likes to be told no. That's what happens there. Zay approved the rate hike for AES in June, just a couple months ago. And then at that point, Zay was booted down from chair to commissioner. And then on August 3rd, he was removed. Zay, who left the Indiana State Senate to run the agency for Braun, says the governor can't fire him, at least without cause. In a lawsuit filed today, Zay's attorney says that Braun illegally fired Zay for approving a rate hike for AES Indiana, and that claims of potential violations of state policy were inaccurate and ancillary to the firing. The rate hike and what you need to know about the rate hike. The IURC has to approve all rate hikes made by investor-owned utilities in the state to make sure Hoosiers aren't taken advantage of. In 2025, AES Indiana came to the agency with a big ask, a $192.9 million rate increase. Okay, and this was a big deal. This was a big discussion. A lot of people talked about this. This was crazy. The state balked, and a finding of the Office of the Utility Consumer Counselor actually found that AES should have cut rates by $21 million instead of raising them. The two sides reached a settlement. AES would ask for $91 million rate hike, more than $100 million less than what AES had initially asked for. $100 million. And it's insane. On June 17th, the IURC, then chaired by Zay, approved an even smaller rate hike of $71 million. In the new lawsuit, Zay says that representatives for Braun's office tried to communicate what the governor wanted, despite the fact that the chair is required to stay impartial. So, in my opinion, Zay, who has, been a politico for a very long time, was doing the right thing. He was trying to remain impartial. Affordability is a big deal to this governor. Secretary of Energy Susan Jaworski, also named in the lawsuit, is quoted as saying, in a later meeting, Zay says Braun asked, how are we going to fix this? According to Zay's attorney, he felt the conversations were violating the law, so he left the conversations. On June 22nd, Jaworski asked Zay to resign. We needed stability in the commission right now. Zay refused to resign and continued to perform his duties as chair of the IURC. Shortly after that, Braun appointed Anthony Swinger as the new chair of the IURC, demoting Zay to the role of simply just a commissioner. On July 1st, Zay's attorney says Jarwowski called Zay and told him she wanted him to stay on as commissioner. When Zay asked why, she reportedly said she'd convinced the governor that we need stability in the commission right now. But just over a month later, the director of Indiana State Personnel Department, Matthew Braun, and the deputy counsel for the appointments of office of the governor, Steve Carter, both came to Zay's office. Zay says the men told him he could resign or he would be fired. Both Braun and Carter are named in the lawsuit. He was presented with a letter from the governor firing him when Zay refused to resign. Under Indiana law, the governor can fire the IURC commissioners, but only with cause. Zay says he was never provided with the cause for his firing. Multiple potential violations of state policy. When other media reached out and started looking into this, the Indiana Department of Personnel tried to explain Zay's firing. The agency sent the following statement to the media as a whole. Andy Zay was dismissed from Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission for multiple potential violations of state policy, including failing to file a required financial disclosure after his removal as chair, improperly awarding payments and personal gifts to employees, and directing staff to alter public meeting agenda without consulting the new chair. In the lawsuit, Zay denies all of these allegations. He says he filed the necessary financial disclosures, that he never improperly awarded payments to the employees, and he used his own money to give employees an $8 Starbucks gift card on their birthday. Zay also said he never changed any public meeting agenda after being removed as chair and was not aware there was a rule about that before or after his time serving as chair. Instead, Zay says he was fired simply because the governor did not like the AES rate hike approval. When Braun was asked about this, and asked if he'd asked Zay to resign before the firing, he denied it. No, it was from the very beginning when it was clear I was looking for folks who are ratepayer conscious, and the first thing out of the gate was granting a big increase. And that was not part of the interview. If you don't have staff, people working with you in the same mindset, it's better to find somebody that does. On August 6th, Braun appointed Indiana City County Councilor Josh Bain to fill in Zay's seat on the IURC. Braun started the announcement with the words, "I have been clear. Affordability is my top priority for Hoosiers." That's laughable. But Zay says Bain's appointment was also illegal since he alleges it was illegal to remove Zay. He also says that if the IURC votes to reconsider the AES rate hike, any decision will be illegal because Zay should legally have been included as a commissioner. Zay is calling for a judge to issue an injunction reinstating him to the commission and blocking the governor from removing him until the lawsuit is decided. The media has reached out to the governor's office and looked for comment since this lawsuit. However, the governor has not responded as of yet. Listen, first of all, that's very, very important. You're spot on there, Stumblefoot. I think that all of these politicos, and I don't care if we're talking local, state, national, they all need to be looked at as far as their investment, family investments, all the way down. Look, I have put money in investments, and I think that that's an important thing to do. But while I am a member of media, I am not a politico in any way. And I think that if for some reason that I feel like it would be important to let the folks know what those investments are and that you're not investing in anything that in any way would be tied to what you're doing while you're in service. And for the people that have issue with that, I think that's absolutely crazy. It's just a common sense thing. But I think that this is going to be very interesting to see what happens with this lawsuit moving forward. I tried to pull it off of my case, and I was unable to. My case kept timing out. I was going to pull it up. I tried pulling it up before the show, several hours before the show. Let me look. Andrew Zay. Oh, you know what? Ding, 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 ding. We just got it right here. So, filed. Yeah, right here. Stand by. I'll be able to present this to you. I was not able to pull that up earlier, and I just got her going. So, hey, let me ask you real quick, and I almost feel it's like stupid for me to do this. How are we doing with video and audio tonight? Are we having any issues? Has there been any kind of funkiness going on? If you could please let me know that would be awesome. As far as what I've seen, it looks like things are going good. A+. Well, we're going to try to keep it at that. This will probably be where it screws up. So if we know that, I'll never say anything ever again moving forward, because that's generally how it goes. All right, let me blow this up here so you guys can see this. So here's Andrew Zay versus Braun, State of Indiana, Matthew Braun, and others et al. So it looks like we've got 49D012608 CE Commercial Court Provision 044500, and it's filed in Marion Superior Court 1, and it was filed today, pending active. The defendants are Braun, State of Indiana, Matthew Brown, Steve Carter, Joshua Bain, Susan Jarwoski, and the plaintiff is Andrew Zane. I was looking to see who his attorneys are. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's take a look at okay. So he did file a motion for temporary restraining order. He's looking for the injunction. Interesting. Okay, so they filed their motions. All right, let's take a look at this. He was fired on the 3rd. Man, they've really been they've been working at this. Okay, 34 pages. So we're not going to look at all of this. I'm not going to read through this. If you guys want to look at this on your own time, you can find that. I will see about putting a copy of this on social media for you guys as well. It's 34 pages, and it's just the verified complaint for declaratory judgment, quo warranto, and temporary, preliminary, and permanent injunctive relief. So they're just let's see here. Let me get down to the most important. Pursuant to IC, I am removing you as member of the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission effective immediately. There's the thing from Mike Braun. neither Governor Braun in his removal letter nor Brown nor Carpenter provided Commissioner Zay with any cause for his removal. Commissioner Zay was not provided notice of any specific allegation before his removal and was not afforded an opportunity to respond to any allegations and was not informed of any process through which the purported grounds for his removal would be adjudicated. Only after Commissioner Zay had been removed did representatives of the Indiana State Personnel Department provide statements to the media identifying purported potential violations of state policies or laws as supposed grounds for his removal. Yeah, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. Thank you there. Thank you, Stumblefoot, and thank you, Jackie. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting to see what happens. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, and it's going to be interesting to see how the governor deals with this and what comes of this. So we will continue watching this and see what goes on. Let's see here. I wanted to check for one specific thing here really quickly. Let me look through this because I was trying to look at this before we went on air, but I couldn't get it to pull up. So normally I like to try to read this crap beforehand, but I just found it while we were live. Commissioner Zay refused to resign and was removed as chair. Did not resign. Governor Braun thereafter appointed Anthony Swinger. July 1st. Contacted Commissioner Zay, told him she wanted him to remain as a commissioner. When Commissioner Zay asked what had changed since the request, Zarowski stated that she had persuaded Governor Braun that Commissioner Zay should remain because we need stability in the commission right now. Governor Braun request communicated by Zarowski to the Commissioner Zay resign occurred after Commissioner Zay declined requests of the governor's office relating to the IURC matters that he believed were inconsistent with the commission's obligation to act independently and impartially after the Commissioner Zay had expressly raised concerns regarding prohibited ex parte communications. Man, this is going to be a big deal. This is going to be crazy to me. So, man, ex parte is never a good thing. And people in high positions need to be very careful of things like that. Okay. Do not establish cause for removal. Denies that he committed any violations. With respect to the alleged financial disclosure violation, Commissioner Zay timely filed a financial disclosure under the Indiana Code following his January 2026 appointment. See, this is going to be interesting because it's not like this is a situation where there are interpretations on these things, like you've got somebody on the right saying this and somebody on the left saying this, or you've got this person and that. This, you have two people allegedly on the same side, supposed to be on the same side of things, and you've got them, and one of them is saying day and the other is saying night. This is a situation, and sometimes you'll see this in government. A lot of times you see it where it's an interpretation issue. This is like an issue, and we ran into it like in Muncie with the Muncie Fire-Based EMS, and every now and then you run into situations like this. It's either a yes, it happened, or no, it didn't happen. Oh, dude, deposition. I would love to see that. That would be amazing. Hopefully we get to see something like that. I would love that. But this is going to be interesting because he either filed it timely or he didn't. And, that's going to be easy to prove. And a couple of these other things, giving gift cards to employees for $8. Hell, you can't even buy anything at Starbucks for $8. So they're like, well, thank you for buying me half of a coffee, dick. So that'll be interesting. We'll continue following this, and as it plays out and we have more information, we will bring it to you. This is something very important because this is something that affects all of us. So this is absolutely important. Okay. We're going to now move on. Oh, and for those of you that maybe are not familiar, this is Andy Zay over here. Andy Zay, if you've not seen him before, and unfortunately, this is Governor Braun. So that's what we've got going on there. Now we are going to move on to the second part of this show this evening, and that is the Indiana State Senate District 23 recount flips the winner. And this is so interesting to me because for those of you that have been here for a long time, you will probably recall, or you should, that there have been situations where I have talked before. My grandmother, not the one that we always talk about on here and you guys see, and not Die Eisen Ina, not that grandmother, but the grandmother on my mom's side, my mom's mom. She was actively engaged in politics, and she worked in the Delaware County Clerk's office. She worked in the Delaware County Adult Probation Office. She was a court bailiff in Circuit Court 2. She worked for the Muncie City Clerk's office. She worked in the Recorder's office. She ran for city clerk. She ran for county recorder. Did she ever run for county clerk? I don't remember. But my grandmother lost an election by like 9 votes. And they did a recount. The party wanted to do a recount. They did a recount, and after they did the recount, she was actually ahead. They actually found she was ahead. So then once they did that, then the Republican then wanted to do the recount. So they did another recount, and then my grandma ended up going back, and I think she ended up losing by like 6 or 7 votes. And that's always been very interesting to me because, I don't care what the situation is, what the election is. Everybody knows 6 people that you could get to go vote. And if she would have just got those 6 plus 1 more, she would have won that race. And so I always think that's very interesting to me. These recounts are always big. Sometimes they're stupid. Sometimes they're like it's they're just, it is what it is. But a lot of times I think they're very important. And as long as, specifically when it's a close race, it makes sense. And with all of the questions that we have about things now, it makes it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to not do it if it's a close race. So again, as we did, I want to put this up here and show you the wasn't that before mail-in ballots? Yes, it was. Oh yeah. We're talking in the late 90s, early, man, it would have been the late 90s, from the mid 90s through the late 90s when she was running for her races. So that's, it was definitely, it was before the whole hanging chads, all of that stuff. So okay, I want to put this news packet up here, let you guys see this, and then we'll come back and discuss this.
And we do have more breaking news for you right now. It's coming from the Indiana Recount Commission, now overturning the results of an Indiana Senate primary race.
So today, the commission ruled that Paula Copenhaver defeated incumbent state Senator Spencer Deary. President Trump backed Copenhaver because Deary opposed redistricting.
Deary was initially declared the victor by a margin of just 3 votes, but technical issues led the commission to throw out several ballots for both of the candidates, turning it into a 3-vote win for Copenhaver. Deary is planning to appeal that decision.
Absolutely crazy. So Deary was ahead. Okay. And then they do a recount, and he was ahead by 3. And then because of the numbers they throw out and they do what they're doing, the flip then made it another 3-way win, but it went the other way. Absolutely wild. Designed to find votes. That's a quite an interesting accusation, and maybe it is. Recount Commission overturns election results in redistricting-driven Indiana State Senate primary. Appeal in the works. Oh, that's right. I put a flock camera next to the door. The commission threw out votes for both candidates, but the total ended up tipping in favor of the Trump-backed challenger in a race with national attention. The Indiana Recount Commission, and I tell you what, I've sat through those meetings, and they are long. I was there for 9 hours one day. You guys watched a lot of that unfold live. I broadcast that, and you guys watched it. It was back in 2022, 21 or 22. It was 21. It was going into the 22 election when they changed you needed the 2 primary vote, and everybody was being challenged, and it was wild. A lot of you watched that. That was like a 9-hour day. But the Indiana Recount Commission has overturned the results of the primary race for State Senate District 23. State Senator Spencer Deary, Republican from West Lafayette, was previously declared the victor over challenger Paula Copenhaver. But on Monday, today, the Recount Commission threw out enough votes to flip Deary's 3-vote margin victory into a 3-vote win for Copenhaver. Wild. Deary was primaried after he opposed President Donald Trump's failed bid to redraw Indiana congressional districts. And I'm going to tell you very clearly, my mind has not changed on this. I was against redistricting back when. I'm against redistricting now. We do it every 10 years. Just because the Democrats do dumb shit when they're in control and they cheat and do all these crazy shit to redistrict and do all that, we don't do that to get ahead. We put up good candidates, put out a good message, and quit doing the dumb shit that all of the Republican people are doing. And we can win. If we put good people forward, we can win. Don't fall asleep in the middle of the podcast. Hey, Ridenhour just does it to me every time, man. I can't tell you how many meetings I've actually fallen asleep in listening to him drone on before, and I wake up and I'm like, oh. But at least when I'm in the meeting, I can always go back and rewatch it. Nobody's watching me. That's one thing. Copenhaver's win means that 7 of the 8 Republicans, so listen to this, 7 of the 8 Republican state senators on the ballot who opposed redistricting lost their primaries. That's not a good thing for people wanting common sense to prevail in politics. There were more Republicans than 8 that were against redistricting, but how it was, because they only do half and half, so only a certain amount of them were up for re-election, and 8 of them were challenged. 7 of those 8 lost. So that means the Trump machine got what it wanted, and it beat out common sense. There's parts of things about Trump that I support and I like a whole lot, but this was just not one of them. Okay. So 7 of the 8 Republican state senators on the ballot who opposed redistricting lost their primaries. The lone holdout was Senator Greg Good, and he was from Terre Haute, and he was one of the most vocal about it, and he's very well liked and respected. They did everything they could to try and defeat him, but he's very well respected. Deary isn't, however, giving up. His attorney, Samantha D. Wester, told the media after today's recount that a hearing would be scheduled and they would be appealing the commission's decision, but time is short. The election results must be certified, by August 21st, which also makes me wonder. I'm going to put a pin in this really quickly and find out when the special election in Knightstown will be. When is the special election for Knightstown, Indiana? August 2026. Oh, I don't understand. I don't know how that's going to be. So it says the special election for Knightstown will be held on Tuesday, August 25th. Knightstown voters will recast their primary election votes on August 25th to choose candidates for Knightstown Clerk Treasurer and Knightstown Town Council at large, who will then appear on the general election ballot. Henry County Clerk Jenny Grubbs said the special election will be open to all registered voters who live within Knightstown city limits. The special election will be from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday, August 25th at Knightstown United Methodist Church. Grubbs said the August 25th special election will be just like a regularly scheduled election. The clerk's office will schedule early in-person voting and will send out absentee by mail ballots. The county travel board will also go out as normal when requested. Indiana election law typically require early voting to start 28 days before the election day. Indiana Henry County Election Board can legally shorten that window for the August 25th special election. The Courier Times will publish early voting times and locations once those have been decided. So we, of course, will be following that. Of course, they're having that special election, as you will recall. Okay, it says the provisional ballot counting must be completed by September 4th, and the certified results must be submitted to the Indiana Election Division for these local results by September 7th. So that's why the difference. That's the state, and this is local. Why have a special election? The special election is necessary because an error in the voting software occurred in May. This error opened the Knightstown only election to all Wayne Township residents during the 2026 primary election, and candidates appearing in the special election ballot will be the same as they were during the primary election. The Knightstown Clerk Treasurer select one candidate. Your options are Carla R. Easton Gorman and Barton Bart Whitesett, or Knightstown Town Council select 2 candidates, and the 2 candidates can be selected from 4 people: Guy Laux, David Maddox, Desiree Payton, and Dakota Steele. So we will talk about this more as we get closer to that. That won't be this week. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's 2 weeks essentially from tomorrow. So remember that. Okay. Going back now to the Indiana State Senate recount. Absentee ballots must be printed and provided to the election boards in each county by September 14th. Deary accused the commission of being politically motivated decisions about which votes to throw out. And this was a pretty wild allegation. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying this is crazy. Spencer says, today we saw members of the Indiana Election Commission attempt to undermine the will of the voters by treating ballots differently based on whether they furthered the president's political goal or not. This was not a meeting intended to show fairness. It was designed to find votes. Whew, crazy. Indiana law makes clear that valid votes should not be silenced simply because of minor errors, Scribner's errors made by clerks who were supposed to be trained by the chairman of this very commission. Fortunately, this commission does not get the last word. We are confident that Indiana's appellate courts will restore the votes totaled and that have been counted and recounted and reaffirm me as the choice voters made for the Republican nomination in Senate District 25. That's really interesting to me. To me, it's going to be interesting to see. I want to find out if they keep the votes that they threw out, what that vote total would have been. So they threw out 2 for her. So that would put her at 5 above him. And they threw out 7 for him. Oh, so that would mean he would have beat her by 2 votes. By 2 votes. Whew, that's some wild shit. So I can't wait to see this. This is going to be very interesting. This has a very serious, the outcome of this is very serious for not only local voters, local citizens, but state citizens all over and people all over America, honestly, if things like this can occur. And I mean, there's a lot to be said for the integrity of the vote process and what can be counted and not counted. It's going to be wild to see how this turns out. And I can't wait to see when they file their paperwork through the courts and to see what the courts say. And it's going to be interesting because it's going to be pushed through quickly. It's going to be great. This must make the MAGA. The math isn't mathing and the statistics are not statisticking. I can't even say that. So yeah, that's that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. And of course, we will be watching this and we will bring it to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And really quickly, again, here at the end, if I didn't show you this, this is Paula Haver and Spencer Deary, a weird little wisp of a man. Interesting. There's a picture of him on a little scooter, and it's just so cute. It's such a weird situation. All right, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will quickly hit the last story that we have. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Stay put. You guys have been fantastic. Hey, while we're at it, I tell you this. Why don't you do this? What is this? What's going on? I don't want to show that again. Why don't we do this before we go to break? Smash that like button. Let us know you care. Let us know you're there. Do that. And I know it's kind of crazy, but we're getting through it. Kate's not here. It's always easier when our producer's here, but we're without a producer tonight. So it's kind of like when mom's away and dad and the kids can play. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So all we got to do is try not to burn the house down. Ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. We will be right back. Okay. The third and final story: who takes control of the Indiana Senate? So for all of you that have been around and been politicking and politicos for a long time in the state of Indiana, you will know that this guy, man, I tell you, it sounds so crazy. People, I guarantee you, like, I get it. I understand why people think. I understand why people think I'm a Democrat. I mean, it blows my mind because I'm certainly not a Democrat. I am a constitutional conservative. I just don't like dumb shit. And I get tired of bullshit. And I will call out Republicans and conservatives just as fast as possible if and when it's needed. I just don't have... I do not have the capacity for stupidity. And it's not, to me, it's not a Republican Democrat type thing. It is a common sense thing. It's what are you doing? You know, are you leading the way that you should be? Are you doing what you should be? And if you're not, then I'm going to be coming down on your head hard like a bunch of bricks or whatever. So this is Roderick Bray, okay, just an absolute douchebag of an individual. He is been in the Indiana State Senate since, 2012. He's served since the president pro tem since 2018. That I know for sure. And I've hated every moment of it. I just cannot stand this guy. And I've had some interactions with him in person, one-on-one, and he's always just so... I don't know. I just don't... I won't say what I was going to say because that's unfair. I just don't like him as an individual. I don't like him political. I don't like him politically. I don't like what he's done. He's just... I'm not saying creepy as in like, I'm not saying like pedo. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not making... He is not, and I'm not making that. He just is a creepy I don't like him personally. He's creepy. Okay, so I don't like him. So he's stepping down. Thank God he's going away. It's amazing. And this is the man who is like in the running. This is Chris Garton, and it's this guy is like the guy that is like, you know, really has a shot of being the next pro tem. Okay. And so it's going to be interesting to see, like everything else we've said, how this plays out. All of this, everything we've talked about tonight, everything we always talk about, whether we're talking about national, state, or local, it's always about who has the power, who's in control, why, blah, 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 blah. All of that same nonsense. Okay. So, back on, man, everything happened on the 3rd. It's so weird. Okay. Back on the 3rd, Chris Garton announced that he was going to be running to replace Roderick Bray as the president pro tem. Garton's announcement came after Bray announced that he would not seek the re-election to the leadership role. And that was only, I think it was like right around my birthday. So it might have been like my birthday was on Sunday, the 26th. I think Bray might have said that he wasn't running on like the 23rd. When did Bray announce he was not running for pro tem again? Let's see. It was it was the 31st. It was Bray announced on Friday, July 31st. Okay. He said he would not seek re-election as the president pro tem when Senate Republicans choose their leadership again in November. He is not resigning from the Indiana Senate, and he intends to remain as a senator through his current term. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to run for re-election again, but I would be shocked if he doesn't run again. I would be absolutely shocked because these people need it. They have to have it. They want it. There's nothing there. It is what it is. Yeah, he will be senator through December 31st of 2028. So that'll be interesting. So Garton said, our caucus stands at a defining moment, and the challenges ahead demand bold, focused leadership. Garton said in a statement, Hoosiers don't send us to Indianapolis to play defensive or simply maintain the status quo. They send us to deliver results. I am committed to driving a conservative Indiana First agenda, and I'm ready to deploy my experience to ensure our campaign apparatus is intentional and ambitious to secure and expand our supermajority. Now, listen, I like Chris Garton. There are things that I don't like, but there are more things that I do like than I don't like. Okay, so that's that. Garton said that he also intends to appoint State Senate Eric Koch, our Republican Bedford, as majority floor leader after careful consideration and direct input from members. A strong, united caucus requires a high caliber of leadership team, and there is no one more qualified to share in that responsibility than Senator Eric Koch, Garton said. Eric is an elite strategist, an accomplished attorney, and a senator and a deeply respected leader within the Senate with judgment beyond reproach. In the floor leader seat, he will be a powerful driver of our conservative agenda for Hoosiers. Garton and Koch said that they were committed to meeting with the caucus members in the coming weeks to understand their priorities and discuss a path forward to unite the caucus. Bray's announcement last week happened after he came under fire from fellow Republicans after he opposed President Donald Trump's push to redraw Indiana's congressional districts. State Republicans who opposed redistricting, who were up for re-election in 2026, faced Trump-backed challengers in the primary, and nearly all of them, all but one, lost. And that's interesting. In a news release announcing that he would not run for leadership post, Bray cited threats to primary any senator who supported his bid, saying he will not put members in jeopardy from their own party simply because he's asking members to support his re-election as pro tem. Serving as the president pro tem of the Senate for 8 years has been among the most significant honors of my life, but it's time for the Senate to choose another leader, Bray said in the statement. Our caucus has led the way in numerous policy areas, passing laws that resulted in more than 20 tax cuts, initiatives to lower the cost of health care, laws that resulted in sharp increase in literacy rates in our schools, and measures that ushered in record capital investment through 2024. That's a track record I will always stand behind, and I'm incredibly proud to have accomplished this work as the pro tem alongside all of my distinguished colleagues. Bray will continue to serve in the role and manage day-to-day operations of the Senate until the election of a new leader of the Senate in November. So that's interesting. I'm happy. So this is such a weird thing. Because it's not that he didn't support the redistricting. It's that he knew it wasn't a good thing. And honestly, it's been a long time since he's done something on principle. And so I actually supported his decision to not support that. Okay. But I don't care that he's leaving. So I think that's fantastic. I think it's wonderful. And it'll be interesting to see what Chris Garten does. I've not heard anyone else's name be announced, and I'm assuming that it won't happen. Burger King. Hey, sorry, brother. We're you are probably correct. We're talking about Indiana State Senate at the moment. Not the big boys. We're talking about the what do they call it? The feeder divisions in baseball, the minor leagues. It's the minor leagues. It's the Indiana minor leagues that we are talking about currently. So I think that's going to be interesting to see what occurs there. That election will happen in November. That's when the newly elected legislature organizes, leadership is selected, and members are sworn in. Oh, you know what? I am glad I said this. I need to make a note because I have to apply for my media pass from the State House in the month of August. So call the GA about media pass because it expires. It should have expired last year, but because Braun came in, they said we're gonna wave everybody over. We're gonna let everybody stay. We're not gonna make anybody come in and get it. Then just call in next August, and voila, it is. It is next August already. So that's what we have. Let me see here. I'm off the comments here. What are they conserving? Certainly not the Constitution. That is true. Remember all that money Trump was given by the little it went into Indiana's election. Yes. So real quick, let me get through this. So we'll keep a close eye on what's going on. We won't know until it gets closer to November. I doubt anybody else will run for it. I think Chris Garten will get it with no problem. Indiana State Republicans, they run the place, and they won't have any problem. If Garten's the man, if he's been anointed as the new guy, it'll be him. It'll be what it'll be. So we'll follow that, and we'll let you know as we get closer. We'll keep you posted on all of these things. And the bottom line is, just like everything we talk about locally in Muncie and Newcastle and Indianapolis and Anderson, and Winchester and Newcastle, wherever, I think it's twice Muncie. It's all a power game. It's all bullshit. It is what it is. And I tell you, the people who don't have the power, and it's because it's in our minds, it's the people. Because truly, if we would stand firm and stand together, we would have the power. But it's hard to get anybody to do that. People don't realize that it takes a little bit of action. It doesn't take a lot. It takes a little bit. We just need people to show up and show out, because we truly do have the power. We just need to remind these fools, because they've seemed to have forgotten it too. Now, I do want to say on this really quickly. Political Spotlight, thoughts on Vivek Ramaswamy's chances in Ohio. There are things that I have liked about Vivek, things that I've not liked about Vivek. It's a true toss-up. He might have a little bit of like a bit of an advantage because it's moved more Republican in the last couple of elections as far as statewide elections go. But I think the last time that I saw polling does not show him in any kind of comfortable lead. I think he was tied with 47-47 with Acton. That's Siena poll in July. AARP on June 25th had Acton ahead 47 to 44 over Ramaswamy. And Fox News poll from June 3rd showed Acton ahead 50% to Ramaswamy's 49. So it's like a neck and neck thing. Something will happen. If you use all three of those polls and combine them, basically Acton has 48% to Ramaswamy's 46.7. But I don't give a toss about pollsters. It's all bullshit, and it's going to come down to the work and the people. Ow, shit. I stubbed my toe. It's interesting to me because the Cook Political Report, which is big in Ohio, it's kind of like the Howie Political Report in Indiana. It has moved Ohio from leans Republican to toss-up, and they did that just like a month ago. So that's that. I think a lot of people think that Vivek has a really good possible true path, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. So that's that. Okay. What do you mean? Did we have some kind of issue with the audio and video? Did something happen? Are you telling me that? Don't tell me that right at the end. Right here at the end? Don't tell me that. That's a bunch of bullshit. A little. Okay, well, you know what? Then that, my friends, is a good place to end it before it gets going to shit. Hey, you guys, thank you for tuning in. We covered some state stuff. It's been a minute since we've done state only and covered all of that. So that's that. Yes, Burger King, that's right. Don't know too many Ohioans who will vote Indian. It's probably the big push too. So that's very true. You'll see some of it, but everyone calls it a true toss-up. I don't think that's exactly true. I don't see that happening. So we'll see what happens. I tell you what, whatever the situation is, please, dear God, we need a new governor here in the state of Indiana, and we still have so long to go, but we need somebody better than Braun. I don't know who it'll be. I think Don is done. I think Don Rainwater is done. I don't think he can win. I love Don. But I think the Don ship has sailed, and that's that. But we need to have Don come back on. I'm going to send him. You know what? I'm going to write another message to myself in the old calendar. And I'm going to send Don a message tomorrow. Don Rainwater. Text. Because we haven't had him on in a minute, and that would be a good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button if you haven't already. Please let us know that. And I'm going to give Burger King one more second here to say thoughts on. He just said thoughts on he or she. Are you going to tell me? Thoughts on what? Tell me, quick. Tell me, son. Quick. Tell me. Yes, who, what? Hey, come back tomorrow and I will tell you. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. we'll be here. Same time. Same bat chance. Mike Pence. Shit. Not on your life, bro. Or mine. Or all of ours together. Pence is passed. Shit. Not a chance. Not not even remotely, not even a little, not even. There's more of a chance that Trump will be Pence. Who's that? There's more of a chance that Trump will be president in 28 than there is Pence. So I'll leave you with that thought. All right. You guys take care. God bless. Good night and goodbye.